There's a strange energy surrounding the Sony A7V, a mix of rumors, strategic leaks, half-whispers, and a silence so unusual that even longtime Sony fans are confused. What started as a simple certification filing has exploded into one of the most heated debates the camera world has seen in years. And make no mistake, this is not a normal product launch for more than a decade. Sony has been the undisputed king of the mirrorless revolution. They broke the DSLR era. They pushed boundaries no one else dared to. They were the innovators, the disruptors, the benchmark everyone followed. But this time, the pressure is different. The king is no longer attacking. The king is defending. Sony's build-up to the A7V has been quieter than ever. No loud hype. No dramatic teasers. And the reason is simple. The competition isn't just catching up, it's preparing a full-force assault. Canon is rumored to drop a powerful EOS R6 Mark III. Nikon is cooking up a next-gen Z6 that could reshape the hybrid market. The A7V isn't arriving in a peaceful ecosystem. It's stepping into a war zone. And suddenly, every spec, every frame rate, and every thermal test matters more than ever. Let's begin with the heart of the camera, the sensor. According to multiple reliable insiders, Sony is sticking to a 33-megapixel full-frame design. It's familiar, proven, and safe. But here's the twist. Sony is introducing what's being called a partial stacked sensor pipeline. This improves readout speed and reduces rolling shutter, giving cleaner motion and smoother performance. But the boost is only around 20%. It's an evolution, not a breakthrough. No global shutter. No full stacked sensor. No revolution. And this choice defines the entire identity crisis of the A7V. Sony, for the first time in years, is choosing reliability over shock value, a dangerous gamble when Canon may be preparing a 45-megapixel stacked monster with aggressive laser eye autofocus and unlimited 4K. Suddenly, the A7V feels caught between two identities. Is it a reliable workhorse for professionals? Or is it a safe, temporary refresh until the real innovation arrives in 2026? But while the sensor may divide opinions, the autofocus system does the opposite. It dominates. Sony is reportedly pulling the AI brains straight out of the flagship A9 III. This is not basic subject tracking. This is predictive recognition, reading movement patterns, eye behavior, environmental shifts locking onto subjects with a level of intelligence that borders on eerie. Whether you're shooting birds at unpredictable angles, models weaving through crowds, or athletes moving at random speeds, this autofocus sticks like glue. This alone keeps Sony at the top of the autofocus world. Burst shooting lands between 20 and 24 FPS. With blackout-free EVF more than enough for sports, wildlife, weddings, and action. But Canon is rumored to be throwing punches with 40 FPS. And even if 24 FPS is already enough for 99% of photographers. Numbers shape perception, and perception shapes hype. Video is where Sony's strategy becomes crystal clear. The A7V is reported to shoot oversampled 7K to 4K 60 fps with full sensor readout. Beautifully sharp. Professionally detailed, Cinetone, S-Log 3, dual base ISO. The works. But the big story isn't the specs. It's the choices. Sony added an optional active cooling grip, a direct acknowledgement that long-form recording matters and overheating must be controlled. This modular solution shows Sony is listening to hybrid creators at last, but they also removed 8K, no open gate, no 7K recording. This isn't an oversight, this is strategy. Sony is choosing stability over bragging rights, reliability over spec battles. A bold but risky choice in a market obsessed with numbers. The build stays classic Sony. Magnesium alloy. Improved weather sealing, deeper grip, better ergonomics, and two huge display upgrades, a new 5.5 EM higher fresh EVF, and a sharper, fully articulating touchscreen. These upgrades alone will win over countless creators inside. A tuned version of the Bian's XR processor enhances color, noise performance, buffer depth, And of course, powers that insane AI autofocus. Now here's where the story gets wild. The release timeline. Insiders say Sony is targeting November 12th to 15th for the official launch, suspiciously close to Canon's event. It looks like Sony wants to capture pre-orders before Canon fires its shots. But shipments won't start until January or February 2026. This could backfire. Imagine Canon hitting shelves first. Reviewers will call it the winner simply because people can buy it immediately. Pricing is expected around $2,899. Competitive, but not cheap. And there are whispers of a possible $200 price drop post-launch if the community backlash is strong. That is not the confidence Sony we're used to. That is a Sony watching the battlefield very carefully. So where does this leave us? Sony fans point to the new EVF, the best-in-class AI autofocus, the improved screens, and smarter heat management as clear wins. Skeptics claim Sony played it too safe, letting Canon and Nikon take the innovation spotlight. But here's my take. Sony isn't playing the short game. They're playing the long one. While the internet screams for shocking specs, Sony is refining the tools that creators rely on day after day. The A7V is built for working professionals, documentary shooters, wedding photographers, filmmakers, hybrid creators, people who need reliability more than experimental features. This appears to be a stabilizing release. Buying time before Sony rolls out future-proof sensor innovations like a global shutter in their next wave of cameras. So is the A7V a safe retreat or a smart evolution? A stopgap or a statement? Only time and creators will decide, but one thing is certain. The battle for hybrid dominance has never been fiercer. The Sony A7V stands right in the middle of the storm. And how the world interprets this camera will shape the future of mirrorless competition. Let me know in the comments. Did Sony play it smart? Or did they play it safe? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to GadgetVerse, and ring the bell so you never miss our deep dive tech videos. Thanks for watching.